Thank you so much, Michael. And for the ones who will be rewatching, right, today is really about leadership. It's about leadership in a feminine sense. Because when we think about leadership, normally what's happening? When we associate leadership, what comes to mind, right? I just don't want to start immediately. I've got two people here on the screen live, so that's great. So I can get the words out of it. Give me one word when you hear leadership.
Responsibilities.
Responsibilities. Great, Mariam. Omnia, from your side.
Okay, leadership. Big personality.
Big personality.
Lots of qualities. Yes.
Qualities. Okay, so some kind of leadership traits, as I understand, right?
Yeah.
Great. But then, leadership normally, when you put it into ChatGPT, and I do lots of tests, when I type in leadership, what comes as an image? Do you think?
Team.
Okay. Anything else?
Culture.
Something that we lead,
Sorry?
Culture.
like
Culture, Mike?
a person with a goal.
Person with a goal. When I type in leadership, normally I see an image of a man and not a woman. So leadership is associated with traits that we would associate maybe with man. Assertive, maybe cruel, no empathy, no compassion. And here, our session is really about feminine, fearless, and fluid leadership, because that's the new way of leading as well. And when I talk or want a word from you, which is when I say feminine leadership, what comes to mind?
More fluid leadership.
Fluid, yeah. Mariam, anything from your side?
A woman picture. A beautiful lady picture.
Beautiful lady picture. All right, here we go. Mike, anything from your side that you want to contribute maybe?
Maybe an image of a mother.
A mother. Love that. Why not, right? Leadership. Feminine, fluid, and fearless. A woman who can walk the aisle with confidence, with her head up, with full self-esteem, and knowing what she does. And she does not neglect her femininity. Because what I was working 32 years for corporates. And what I always observed was very interesting. Any woman who was a leader on top, what happened there? They were acting like men. No compassion, no understanding, really against women as well. Didn't even lift up women, because on top, it's very stiff. It's very rare. There are not many positions. And there was this fear of losing your own identity, your own role, your own position, and many more. And if someone, and I saw this myself, and if someone in her team got pregnant and she was on maternity, this women leader couldn't actually understand after that mother came back and started to work why she needs to leave early, why she needs to take care of the kid, why no one else can help her, etc. So women on top can be very cruel. Women on top can be very, how shall I say this? I don't want to say cruel though, but not understanding anymore. And here we go to a leadership style which is feminine, fluid, and fearless, and lifting up each other. That's the magic about leadership reimagined, especially in this new world of Generation Z, Alpha, and also seeking the why, the purpose, what do we do, why do we do what we do. So let's go further into leadership, because leadership is evolving. What was valid in the past is not valid anymore. We are talking more about ethics, support, understanding. There is responsibility, of course, with leadership. There is a lot of work maybe with leadership, though we as women do put lots of pressure on ourselves. And there is no need. No need at all. Why should we do this? We think that we need to stem everything. We think that we need to have all the answers. The new leadership style is not like that. It's completely different. So when I say leadership, and you're leaders in your own capacity, Mariam and Omnia, what struggles do you have yourself? This is a safe space, and whatever it says, you don't need to reveal everything, but are there any struggles, that you see with leadership, women in leadership?
Rules and constraints sometimes in the business.
Constraints, right? Seems like we still have unconscious bias towards a woman who's a leader. No trust in the abilities or anything else. Omnia, do you want to join or say something?
Yeah, sure. The relation between a woman as leader and the people or the team working with as a man. How to be able to make this relation that I am the leader, I can still be nice, good person, feminine, even though you have this man quality of want to lead, but I am still the leader. So it's sometimes hard.
Not easy to be a woman leader in a male-dominated industry, right? And you are also in the same. Jewelry normally is seen in Kapalı Çarşı, specifically in Istanbul, in the covered bazaar, as something that man would do. But yet, you're the leader and you're working with man. So there, how to establish trust, delegation, but also some sort of authority. Whether we like it or not, the leader is the authority, is a decision maker. It's not so easy as a woman. And constraints do happen there as well. Unconscious bias that we are not aware sometimes that they exist. Even men are not aware. They just react on autopilot. And if you notice those, maybe to alert might be interesting to see. But let's go into leadership a bit more. So what is fluid feminine leadership? Why do we need to focus on this? Because nowadays we're getting more and more women, thanks God, in leadership positions. We know in Logifem, lots of women are business owners. They created their own business from scratch. And it's not easy in this male-dominated space to prove yourself. We know the story from our founder, Tuna Hazarcı, of Logifem, and how she thought, oh my God, there is a huge gap in supporting women in this male industry. Because when they see you at a booth or somewhere, what the first thing is people ask, where is your manager? And you're the one who's the manager sitting there at the desk, and you say, I am the manager, and they don't believe you. So we need to prove ourselves, but at the same time, doing a bit more, but leading with what? With your wisdom and knowledge. There is nothing else that you need to do more. So let's go a bit more into this fluidity, what's going on. Fluid leadership is listening. And we women are very good in listening because we've got parents, we are mother, we are daughter, and normally we are the ones who are listening. At the same time, listening is number one leadership skill for any leader, regardless of gender. So listening, when I say listening, I don't mean, what is listening actually? Tell me, what is listening? What do you understand under listening?
Sorry to be open. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Maria?
Understanding the message.
Understanding the message. Omnia?
To be open to receive more ideas about work, to listen about what is not working good for you, how we can make it work.
how we can make it work. Listening is on the 360-degree level. And that means not only with the ears, but with your mind, body, and soul. You completely forget about your responses. You're just there to listen and trying to understand the other person and asking open questions. The best thing in listening is asking open questions for your understanding. How did that happen? What can we improve? What went well? Where is it happening? So these open questions rather than the is it, would it, should it, and advice. Leadership skill starts with listening. And we as women are not bad in that. Better than men, as it proves scientific research, though we can improve as well. But we are collaborative. We are more collaborative, more leaning towards partnering up, helping each other. Because we have got that sense or that mother nature in us that is getting the herd together, leading together, doing it together, producing together, creating value together. So feminine and fluid leadership really involves a lot of collaboration. And there we are very much advanced rather than the man who normally would go into, and I'm stereotyping now, so sorry for the man here, but who would rather go with their ego. Still, they would go until collaborative, until a certain point, but ego will kick in from time to time. We are more, let's do it together. And that helps in terms of creating results, creating solutions, finding out what would work and what not, and that's much better. Empathy. We are more leaning towards understanding and feeling what the other person feels. Even a bit more or too much sometimes, because that does not help all the time in leadership. And I will allude to that on my later slide. Compassion. Much better emotion, much better trait. Compassion means, yes, we understand, but at the same time, we find a solution. We help the other person to get out of the misery. We are flexible. Why? Because as mothers, daughters, or women, we always need to juggle lots of things in the air. We know how to prioritize. We know how to do things. We are multitasking. Is that always good? Not always, but it helps to be flexible. And we can move around things. We can shape and change. We do this more easily than men. We are more fluid in this. We are more agile. And we can find and we look for solutions rather than thinking about why that happened or what happened. We are more towards results oriented. And we're looking for results, correct? So let's do a comparison between leadership traits. We've got many here. There is no right or wrong, though being aggressive is not the best trait that I can see. Arrogance does not help neither women or men. Independent, yes, but at the same time, we need to collaborate. We have got a team. And Omnia said already, we've got a team. We need to work with teams. So being independent or egoistical does not work. We need to communicate. So the great traits, it's about passionate, being passionate about what you do, but also patience. Having patience. Let the people do. Let them, so that you say, let me do something else. But first, let them, your team, do, act, take initiative, empower them, delegate. When you see if something doesn't work, then you can take it away again and sit down and ask what and where it did go wrong and what we learned from this. Intuitive. We are more innovative. We can find different ways of doing stuff because this is in our nature. We do this automatically. We are not stuck in one pattern or anything else. We are a bit more innovative in that case. Plans for future. As a leader, we need to have a vision. That's very important as well for men and women. Loyalty, absolutely agree. Being reasonable, empathetic, and trust your instinct. And the last point, this is a very, very important trait that we as women have. We trust our instinct much more than men. Our rational mind sometimes just shuts down and we listen to our heart. And if there is a decision to be made, sometimes in the beginning it might look like wrong, but at the end it proved to be correct. So instinctively, intuitively, we as women have that wonderful fluidity to express our sixth sense. And that's the best thing about leadership, feminine leadership. So how to find your feminine style though? So if I would ask you, what type of leadership style do you have? What would you answer? Omnia's like, I don't know. So, Maria?
I'd like to ask, this is also what I realized, most women leaders, they do their business with feelings. But I am not that much on the side of the feelings.
Okay.
But the logic, little bit.
Okay, so Mariam is more on the rational side. Feelings, though, are sometimes good. Why do I say that? Look, our second brain is our gut. Second brain, that's proven, right? And if something doesn't feel good, it's like turns and it's like, something is off, it's not aligned and you feel this, right?
I am not against the feelings, but it should be balanced. Logic and the feelings should be balanced. We cannot make our days 90% with the feelings.
Yeah, that's for sure. So we need to have a balance there. Look, I was working in Thomson Reuters and I was managing a big team and we took over Turkey as well. So I was looking, and I'm based in Geneva, I was looking for a person who speaks perfect Turkish because they need to serve the Turkish market. So they need to speak to Türkiye İş Bankası, they need to speak to Turkish Central Bank, etc. But the people that I got as applicants, oh my God, the Turkish was just awful. And my husband, during a French course, met a Turkish person, a young guy, fresh, married to a Swiss, arrived in Switzerland and is looking for a job. Of course, Turkish is perfect because he was working there. English was like this, and we met. And I thought, I need actually someone who's really speaking Turkish. His background, entertainment, nothing to do with custom admin. He doesn't even know how to operate a real computer. So what I did, we interviewed him. HR said, are you sure you want to take this guy? Because he's not really the background we're looking for. He does only know Turkish and his English is not the best. I said, I take the risk. I got him. 3 months of training. He was so passionate. He wanted to learn. I buddied it up with someone, etc. And he proved to be a good performer, high performer. And there, I just trusted my instinct. Because for me, actually, the priority was what? Turkish language mastery. Because he was supposed to write, read, listen, hear real high Turkish. Still, I didn't wait. I said, I'll give a chance. Let's see how it goes. And it went perfectly well. So sometimes giving chances, sometimes listening to your gut is always a good feeling. Though you're right, too much is not good either. We need to also, it's a numbers game. We need to be having results. We need to have outcome. And also we need to act with what? With rational mind. So how to find your feminine style? Define your leadership values. It always starts with values. When I coach someone, when I started coaching with a career professional, I always start with values, because this is where it is. Values are your GPS, your North Star. So if you're lost, get your values out. Seek. And if I say values, it's always like vague. It's like, what's important for you as a human trait? Someone who's honest, trustworthy. I like my flexibility. I love to be with people. I need to have something else. So think about your leadership values. List them down. During Marrakesh retreat, Mariam knows already, the personal map, which I put out there, is about your values, your strength, your growth areas, and as well your anchors in the middle, and what's important for you in life. And that can change all the time because we transform. So one homework for you is about defining your leadership values. What is important for you in a feminine leadership style? Leverage emotional intelligence, because this is where we are very good. We can read, listen, and feel people, because as mother instinct, daughter instinct, we are very sometimes sensitive, we might say, but at the same time that proves emotional intelligence. And why am I saying this? ChatGPT can give you all the information. IQ, is that very important now? Yes, to make sense out of the data you got as an analyst, etc. However, emotions are not in ChatGPT. How we communicate with people is not in ChatGPT. And our feminine communication style, leveraging on emotional intelligence, is number one. I would like to add another equation to that, cultural intelligence. Because doing business in Turkey is different than doing business in Germany. So cultural intelligence, and for women, we are more leaning towards accepting as well different cultures. We are more tuned in on the other person in terms of maybe religion. We are more sensitive. We are more sensible. We are more towards understanding what's going on rather than saying, hey, this is highway, my way, let's go for it. We have our own style, and that feminine style is very precious. So cultivate that, never neglect, because this is what we try to do. We always try to cover our feminine side to be more masculine, but at the same time, you shall be a magnetic women leader. Someone who's got this confidence and knows what they're talking about, and knows as well how to communicate. Again, lead through collaboration, not competition. That's my saying. The new competition is collaboration. When we are together, from union comes strength. So therefore, we only complement each other. I have different strength than Omnia, than Mariam. Tuna has got different strengths than someone else. Sometimes we overlap, but we have got traits which are complementing each other. So rather than having that egoistical way of doing things, which is more with the man, thinking about the hormones of testosterone, etc., we women tend more to embrace, to hug, to support, and lift up. Balance confidence with humility. You're all confident. However, the perception of women or feminine leadership is, well, they don't have any self-esteem, or they're not confident in what they're talking, though we are more human-centered. Rather than showing off, we love more to see, to hear, to listen, and then make our last comment. But it's important that we do our last comment, that you are raising your voice at the table. You can talk last, it's not a problem, but you're the one who really needs to say something as well. So that shall be not confused, because feminine style doesn't mean we are weak. No, on the contrary, this is the new strength. Specific with the new generation and what's going on in the world at the moment, Absolutely feminine style. We need to embrace who we are, how we react, how we have emotions inside ourselves with a balance of confidence. Build your support network. Having sisterhood is very important. We love sisterhood. At the moment we are in Logifem sisterhood, which is really, really beautiful. And reframe feminine as a strength. And that's our own mindset as well. Our own mindset comes always in a way. It's like, oh God, I shall be not so feminine. I shall be not a woman. I shall be not blah, blah, blah. Whatever the mind is saying to us, wrong. Just embrace it. It's great. And that's why we shall have different people at the table. When there are contracts signed, we shall have men and women. Feminine or feminine leadership doesn't mean we don't want men. No, not at all. Men are our allies. They are our partners. They are our spouses, our sons. I've got a son. I love my son. Yeah. I love my husband. That's not the ideal situation. The ideal situation is everyone shall be coming from the standpoint of who you are. Men have different ideas. Women do have different ideas. We complement, we discuss, and we put everything together. So we ourselves need to also own this feminine style a bit more. We don't need to be always strong. We don't need to be always having the right answers. And as a leader, you don't need to know all the answers. You've got a team who knows the answers. So Omnia, you don't need to know everything. You've got a team who knows all the details, the nitty-gritties. You're the leader. You're the decision maker. You're giving the vision, the mission. You're giving the goals. You have that reflection where you want to see your company from 1 year onwards, 5 years onwards. That's you, no one else. And you don't need to know everything. You don't need to be an expert. Therefore, you've got a team. So always make sure that you delegate, because that happens a lot with the women as well. They want to own everything. They don't want to give away because they think, oh my God, when I give this away, that it might be not done correctly, or it's kind of seen, I hand over my power. You don't hand over your power. You are good as you are, and you're working together. And delegation is great, because you cannot be everywhere and you cannot master everything either. Therefore, trust your team and trust your own abilities. Even if you give this away, that doesn't mean you're not a good leader. You're a great leader. People, teams want to be trusted and they want to be acknowledged. So best thing that you can do for your teams is to give them a place where they can grow, where they feel empowered, engaged, they can trust you, and they know when shit hits the fan, you are there for them to protect them. That's the main thing. Communicate with impact. Communication is the second very important trait in terms of leadership. People want to hear from you. Even people, I manage so many redundancies. Even I've fired people over the phone. But the one thing that I did is, from the first stance of the company giving us that signal, oh, we're going to have some redundancies in team X, Y, Z, I was transparent. And I always communicated. In a team meeting, face-to-face, Zoom, doesn't matter. And I told them, look team, I don't know what's going to happen. What I know now, though, is the following. Share. Get them with you. Even if you want to change the course of either Logifem or your business Omnia, always get them engaged. Hey team, look, this is what's going to happen. The vision for our trademark is XYZ. What do you think? Get the opinion. You don't need to agree. You can also agree to disagree. However, if you take them with you, they will be following. They will be more towards, yes, I can trust this leader. And at that point, it doesn't even matter if you're a man or a woman. However, women do speak more, women share more. Therefore, our feminine style naturally is embracing that communication. Though we need to master that type of communication as well in a way which is impactful. wise words. How, the what. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. The tone, your tonality. Believe me, when you enter the room, your executive presence always talks. You already communicate when you enter the room. People say, okay, she's the boss, I got that, See that, yeah, she's the boss. You don't need to say anything. Or when you enter the room, say, oh, that's not looking good. I think we've got bad news today. You already communicate with your body language. So embrace that more and practice. Practice communication, practice as well your values as a woman. And what does it mean to be a woman and a leader? The more you practice, the more you will own it. So here I would like to so I covered a lot. So questions, any comments, anything? No? I'm just checking the time because I can talk forever. Good. Maryam, you unmuted yourself.
I would like to ask, is it logic and the instinct? Because this is also type of the collaboration, the two images.
You mean what you see here now? Empathy versus compassion. Look, empathy doesn't help all the time. Why? We women feel like with others who are in pain. Oh my God, great, but that does not help the person to advance or find a solution. Compassion is better. Compassion is understanding, but not taking the burden of the feeling and the pain of the other person. We women tend to do that. That's too much, especially as a leader. That's too much.
Is it ease to pain? I mean, should we care with the pain?
Well, look, I didn't understand what you mean, Maryam. Can you elaborate?
Compassion, can we open compassion much more? Does it mean about care of the woman?
It's about caring, correct. Compassion means we shall care about the human and provide support, wisdom, knowledge, share resources. Versus empathy, where we take all the burden of the other person. And I know many women who do that, and I don't know why. The pain is theirs. You cannot feel it. You can, for example, to say, I left one word. It's like, yes, I understand you. No, you don't understand. Can't. You're not in the same situation. What you can do is hear. I hear you. That's what I say. I hear you. And then, once everything is offloaded, and sometimes humans, employees just want to offload. They don't want to even have a solution. It's just boom. And then you as a leader, rather taking all the pain on yourself and feeling bad and miserable afterwards and drained and no energy, lift yourself and say, okay, I heard you. So what do you think you can do in that circumstance? Get a powerful question back. Help that person. It's compassion. That means with understanding, with collaboration and support. Rather than having all the burden of the other person on yourself, which is energy draining and does not serve anything, by the way, do the opposite. Compassion is the way to go. Does this answer your question, Maryam?
Yes.
So,
thank you. Omnia.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to understand more, like, shall we in some situation just have empathy and other situation compassion? Because like people, sometimes they just want to know that that they're not feeling good, or like we understand them problem, even if we cannot really feel it. We're not at the same situation. And be in compassion in other situation. Here, like our emotional intelligence will work to know at which moment we should be like in compassion. Okay, I see your problem, how we can fix it. and in some other moment to just be in empathy, because sometimes people, they are not really waiting for your help. They're just like in a situation like yeah, I'm in this kind of problem, etc. They are just waiting for some empathy from you, I think.
You're right. Again, if we say empathy, what we say is the following, that you take the burden or the pain of the other person on yourself. Don't do that. However, to listen to someone who's got a problem, of course, you're the leader. You need to know what's going on in their world. Though you don't need to provide always a solution, as you said, but don't make their pain yours. This is what we tend to do all the time, yeah, as women.
Right.
And then you're like, oh no, oh God, you know. You're a leader. You're there to support. You listen full attentively. Ask open questions. Make the other person feel comfortable and safe, where they can offload as well their psychological problems, etc. That's a great place to be. But don't take their pain and make it yours. It's not your pain. It's their pain. We can support. We can provide even some resources. Again, ask open questions. I hear you. I heard you. That must be very acknowledged. That must be very, very difficult for you. So with what you have said, what do you think you could do? And sometimes it's like, I don't know. That's okay as well. Thanks for telling me. I know now. What do you need from me? Ask them. What do you need from me? And it's sometimes, no, it was good actually to talk to you. Or maybe other resources, anything. Yeah, that's a better way to acknowledge all the problems, the challenges of humanity. Could I explain, Omnia? Good, perfect. So, homework for you is to define your leadership style. And also, I would like to, let me see what's the time. So that's good. We've got some time to actually have as well some questions if you have, because your homework is really to reflect on your leadership style. And there's a lot on the internet, but you can think about your values. How, and I'm asking you these questions. How do I want to be perceived as a leader? As a women leader? How can I use my strength as a woman in my leadership skills? And how can I improve further my communication skills and listening skills? So these are the questions for you for reflection. Because giving a workshop is one thing. I can talk forever. Though you taking on what is important for you is much more valuable. And here I gave you a bit of homework. I would like to ask you, what's one small shift you will make after today? Have a thought? We've got time. And I will stop sharing. Sorry?
I would like to talk.
Yes, go ahead.
As a woman, I can give the feeling of leverage of the person. I can uplift them, but I shouldn't show them the ceiling.
Okay, good.
That's the thing that I remembered right now.
Good, perfect. You can be the guide, but you don't need to provide them everything either. So good, Mariam. Wonderful. Omnia.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's one small shift as of today?
For me, it will be a big shift is like to put on more my femininity in the everyday leadership as a woman. Like as you said at the beginning, we don't really need to be masculine or also like letting our femininity flower is also part of the growth of our leadership, and by being feminine, just like others can be, listen more and take this energy from you. So I will focus more on this.
Perfect, thank you. And guess what? I was a leader as well in Thomson Reuters. I had a diverse team of 80 countries around me. I love my high heels. I love my femininity. I love my compassion and understanding. But at the same time, I love my assertiveness. So again, balance is important. Balance is important. Though showing more about that you're a woman is great. Hey, we are different. Yeah? And how you lead is different, which is great as well. You complement each other. That's all what it is. And you can be more yourself with agility, flexibility, being without fear. Because if we own it, people will accept it. And that's what it is. The more, and we need to repeat. Consistency is key to success. Consistency gives your team, I can trust Omnia. She's a great woman. You know, wow. And you're like, God, thank you. You know, that's great. Showing up, being always smiling, giving that energy back, being there for your team, having an ear, asking their opinion. That's a good leadership. It's not something which is weakness. No, on the contrary, people would even say, she listens to me. She accepted my innovative idea of this wonderful design that I gave her. Really, you know, I feel so empowered. That's what we want. Now, we don't want anything else. Yeah. So,
It's really, Hulya, you are amazing. I mean, you are much more than I know you. For all these workshops, I mean, it's a very good lesson for me. It's a life lesson, not only lesson like you are giving the homework and do this, I advise this. No, it's not. But listening to you is like getting a vitamin.
oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes.
That means
Thank
a
you
lot
so
to
much.
me. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for attending.
You did that to us.
Yes, thank you so much. Actually,
Yeah.
it's. I will add some few words to what Mariam she said. Like she said, you are the vitamin D, like the vitamin D. You know, we need the sun. You are the human vitamin. Actually, in the life of leaders, of families, of business owners, male as women. Actually.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, like to be able like to go on the flow for both, it's really a great thing.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Appreciate it.
And can't wait
Appreciate
for
it.
much more.
Okay,
Yes.
hopefully. And the important thing is for you though, is to really reflect each day. The best practice to do this is to take 5 minutes at the end of the day. And this is generic, right? What did I do well today? Any little thing, doesn't matter, it doesn't need to be big thing, little things. Where could I have improved? Could be on communication, could be on listening. You might say, oh, I've interrupted again. James, I shouldn't have interrupted. Okay, next time, I'm not interrupting, I'm listening. This is how you learn. Practice makes the master. Yeah? So reflect each day, 2-3 minutes, write bullet notes, I don't know, for the phone or whatever is important for you, whatever is easy for you. And that will give you as well that little lift and shift of your behavior. Because changing habits is not easy. Changing habits, it's these micro little steps that you take every day for yourself, where you see that shift. And rather being an autopilot, always observe yourself. And sometimes I catch myself. Sometimes I go also a Bible. I was like, oh, no, that doesn't serve you. That doesn't serve you at all at the moment. Calm down. Breathing. Box breathing. Calm down your vagus nerve. Your sympathicus, here it goes down from here up to our gut. And then I say, okay, I'm good now. So what shall I do? Next step. Maybe you need to have 1 hour. Maybe you need to have a bit more. Take that time. You don't need to respond immediately. And even if you have well, we're deviating now because I've got 10 minutes, so I can add lots of other stuff. You know, difficult conversations as a woman is not easy. Specifically if you have lots of men. Because the man wants to show up. They're egoistical as well. Let them talk. Let them talk. They can talk. Yeah, I had many, you know, I have many clients or collaborations. We let them talk. We get it in. We have a pause. And the man would say, okay, so what happened now? It's fine. If you want to ask some questions for clarification, you may. And then you can put your stance on it. And if you want to understand better or have a difficult conversation with any employee, the best thing is once the conversation or from the counterpart is done, you can ask, so what I understood, it's magic. What I understood from you is repeated in your own words. See if you understood and then say, okay. And don't say I or you, excuse me. Don't say you have done this. No. What I've noticed lately is X, Y, Z. So can you tell me more? These are conversations that you can navigate with mastery, with men, but with assertiveness. You're capable of answering, but first let's get all the information. And then you can take, according to my experience and what I have been studying or read or whatever, this would be a better course of action. What is your stance on it? Have them with you. Because that creates collaboration. That creates immediate union, you know? And it's an assertive communication style to manage difficult conversations. Alrighty, so I've added a bit of communication there as well. So I guess we are okay. So any last comments, words from your side?
I did my comments. You are so perfect person and I am so happy to know you.
Oh, Meryem, thank you, my dear. I will be in Istanbul, as Meryem knows. And Omnia, we already have an appointment with you. So we're going to come to Kapalı Çarşı. You can join us, Meryem.
Okay, I will.
Also, Meryem, she's looking so cute. Like, you know, when someone is given like a compliment to another person, like openly, it means like they're a good person inside. They are not afraid of to express themselves. So it means like just, I also can't wait to meet you, Meryem. Hulya, I already know you.
Nice to meet you too. I love the people to be free. They should be free with their action. They should be free with their behavior, with their speech. I mean,
you're right.
Meryem is great. So you know each other, I guess. Connect, right? If not, I can share the connections as well. No problem at all. Because
Yes,
you're both
yes.
in Istanbul, huh? So what I will do, Omnia, I will share Meryem's contact details over WhatsApp, and then you can get in connection. I will see you very soon, Meryem. The week of the 7th of September, I'm there in Istanbul.
great.
Perfect.
Welcome to Istanbul.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I stop now. Oh, are you sure you want to stop recording?